Hello, I'm Pam. Welcome to my channel, Stitching the Land of Good Enough. This is Saturday, January 6th, 2024. This is floss tube number something, could be 91. This is a channel where I talk about cross stitch, my shop, Stitch New England, life updates, backyard bird feeder, life updates. Is that a life update? I'm not sure. I have started this video like 5 times. I'm feeling a little discombobulated. I am also going to probably be feeling a little rushed because my shop opens in a little over an hour and I started this an hour and a half ago, and this is where we are right at the beginning still. We're going to do a WIP parade today. We're going to talk about the projects that I have brought with me from past years into 2024. My oldest project comes from 2020, and yeah, so that's like 4 years worth of projects still. I suppose it could be worse. I'm starting the year with 23 projects. I started last year with 23 projects. Last year, I started with 23. I abandoned 6 projects. I finished 9, and I started 15. So it was a wash. I'm hoping that I can work this WIP parade down a little better this year. And maybe we'll get into that when we talk about plans. So first we're gonna do a WIP parade, and I'm gonna jump right in because again, I am a little crunched for time, and I don't think it'll take an hour to talk about 23 projects. But if I'm talking fast and you have a question about one of them that I didn't talk about, put it down in the comments and I will try to answer it as quickly as possible. Although today is a Saturday and it's usually my busy day at the shop, so it might take me a little bit to answer it. So the first thing we're gonna show is actually a finish. It's not a WIP. It's my last finish from 2023. I'm afraid if I don't show it today, I will forget to show it in my next regular floss tube and then we'll never see it. So this was the temperature calendar by Zara Studio Designs. This is my 4th year finishing a temperature stitch along. I really had a good time with this one. I don't have this year started yet, so I'm hoping next Sunday I will start this year's. So yeah, I stitched this on 18 count Aida, antique white with 2 strands. I'm gonna get her up close. She's super cute. Down the side is the key, like the temperature range for each color. The premise, so there's a block for every day, and the color was determined by the high temp of the day. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a good time with that one. So that was the last finish of 2023. Next up is A Year at Hawkhorn Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. I'm gonna apologize for the glares right now because I'm not taking them all out of the package. We don't have enough time for that. This is stitched on 40 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. I used the DMC, not the MPI Silk, and I did a little bit of color brightening on some of the blocks because they were originally a little dark for me. So there is January, February, March, April, May, and June, July, August, September, and a little bit of November down there. So this is getting finished this year, and we'll talk about that when we get to plans. I am not carrying this into 2025. Okay, I don't have a picture of this one. It's a long story. It might be living behind a piece of furniture in my living room right now because I was lazy and I left it in a pile. Maybe we are talking about it. And then it fell because of the dogs and I haven't had the oomph to fish it out. Anyway, this was a project my husband picked out when he was learning how to cross stitch. It is Celtic Tree of Life by Artisy Cross Stitch. He did like maybe 3 stitches up at the top, decided cross stitch wasn't for him, but he still wanted the project done, so I have adopted it. There's where we're at. I think it is 14 count antique white Aida is what it's being stitched on. Probably not getting done this year. All right, and next up is Nantucket Girl Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. Get that picture up close. She's super cute. This is charted to be stitched in MPI Silks. There is a DMC conversion. I did a overdyed floss conversion, so mine is a mix of like Classic Colorworks, Weeks, Gentle Art. And here is where I'm at. It's gonna take this whole fat quarter, which is 40 count something. I don't remember the name. Darn it. I really don't remember the name, but it's by Seraphim Fabrics. It might be Thesby, I'm not sure. And I'll get her up close. I don't know if you can see her all. So, I mean, I haven't gotten a ton done considering I've been working on her since 2021, May of 2021, but she's actually gonna get a ton of work this year. And again, we'll talk about that when we get to plans. All right, next up is Autumn by the Cross-Eyed Cricket / Cricket Collection. If somebody knows the answer to this and can explain it to me, I would be appreciative. I never know. So it's the Cross-Eyed Cricket, but why is it the Cross-Eyed Cricket and why is this the Cricket Collection? Were there Cross-Eyed Cricket patterns that weren't the Cricket Collection? I find the whole thing very confusing. Anyway, this one is Autumn. I don't know, what are you being stitched on? I think he's got a little card. This one is being stitched on 32 count Meadow Rue by Lakeside Linens. And I'm like close to done on this one. Actually, I have no idea. Oh, I'm showing you, it's upside down. We're off to a good start. I mean, I guess I have, what do I have? Like 2.5 letters left. So I mean, I'm super close to being done. I still have back stitching to do on some of those letters that I've already done. I'm not happy with my M. The color that I chose, it calls for a couple of silken colors and I didn't feel like sourcing them out. So I don't like the color I picked, but it is what it is. I'm not redoing it, so it's okay. Okay. Ooh, I love this one. This one's gonna get finished this year. Arg. Okay. I thought I could leave all my projects in the bags I brought them in from home. It wasn't the smartest idea. Okay, so this one is Sir Thomas by Glendon Place. It is one fancy turkey, and you cannot tell from the picture that he like super sparkles. He's so sparkly. I am stitching him on 28 count antique white linen. You're probably gonna be able to see through this linen, and I'm sorry. Look at how good he is. I'll get you up close. Say hi, Thomas. You are not gonna see the sparkle. So most of this is done in Rainbow Gallery, Silk Lame, and it like, I wonder if I can get the corn to sparkle. It like sparkles and shimmers. Like in person, Sir Thomas is, look at the brown sparkle. So sparkly. So I am really hoping to get him done this year. I'm not really hoping, he is getting done this year. I've got a whole plan. We'll talk about my plans, a whole plan. Next up is Christmas Bells Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. Where is the chart? I heard the bells on Christmas Day. Oh, familiar carols play. Peace on earth. I am not a good singer. It's like one of the saddest things for me. I love singing. I wish I was a good singer. I'm not. Here's where it's at. She's halfway done. What am I stitching this on? 36 count Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax is what she's on. Okay, we are flying. I am gonna get these doors open on time. Oh, nuts. Okay. This would have been a lot easier to film from home, but right now we have 3 dogs and a cat and 4 people living in my house. I am one of them. And we're in the process of packing to move, and it's just a hot mess in there. it wasn't happening. I did think about doing it tomorrow. We're having a snow day tomorrow. I'm very excited. We haven't had shovelable snow in 2 years. Here in the Rhode Island, Massachusetts area, and I'm just really excited for snow tomorrow. I thought it would be fun to film a WIP parade on a snow day, and then I was like, Pam, you're gonna wanna sleep in, let's be real. Okay, this one is, I think it's called Snowy Day, Winter Day. It's Winter Day, it's a Reolist kit. I love birds. I'm stitching with all the stuff that came in the kit. So it's 14 count white Aida. Here's where it's at. I got one little burb on there. So burby. It's a lot of fun. Okay. And then I have peacock, unicorn, and a badger. Are we still in 2021? This is my WIP list, by the way. Well, they're gonna take a little side story. This is a Hobonichi weeks planner. And one of my friends, Kristen, showed me these last year, and I have become a convert because they're small enough that I can just slip it into my pocketbook and take it back and forth from work to home. Anyway, here's my WIP list. So I have them sort of sectioned out by start year. You can kind of see the years up at the top there. Anyway, peacock, unicorn, and a badger. So we are into my 2022 WIPs. This is what it's gonna look like when finished. It is by Scarlet Letter. I am stitching it on 40 count Summer Khaki by Swigart. And this is all we got. And it's gonna take, it takes this whole piece of fabric. So here we are, just a little bit up at the top. It's so fun. I decided this past year that I really struggle with 40 count. It's not my favorite. I do not want to restart this. So I have plans for my 40 count projects this year. Okay, and then we have a Tisket a Tasket by Rosewood Manor. This was originally supposed to be something, it was a stitch along, and I had broken it out into sections, and I still have the sections posted in my Facebook group, which is Stitching in the Land of Good Enough on Facebook, and I was gonna get it done in like 14 months. I started this on May 1st, because May Day, Tisket a Tasket, in 2022. So yeah, and it's probably not getting done this year. It may, but probably not. I am stitching it on 28 count flannel flower. It might be 32 count. I honestly don't remember now. I think it's 32 count. I'm stitching on 32 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. Here's where we're at. So, I have a lot done, but I also have a lot not done. So, yeah. Although I have a lot of the heavy stitching done because I don't have this basket done. I don't have all of this border done, or I guess I don't have all of this border done. And I don't have this up here done, or I guess this over here. Okay, never mind. It's probably not getting done this year, but it probably is going to be a focus for 2025. So there's that. Okay. And then this one is totally getting done this month. This is Hector's Stocking by Shepherd's Bush. So cute. I am stitching this for my husband. So I just got his name on there. All the stitching and the back stitching is 100% done. It's being stitched on 20 count raw linen by Witchelt, and it's stitched with pearl cotton. Yeah, all the stitching is done. It's so fantastic. I'm gonna get you up close. This was so fun. And I've started the beading, so you'll be able to see some of the beads are on there. We have Santa and that crazy snowman. Yeah, I love this little row of houses down here. It's so, oh my gosh, did I not finish? No, that's done. It's just weird where the fold is. It looks like it's not. It's definitely done. So I just have a few beads and some buttons left to put on, and then it's done. And then it's going off to my friend Deb, and she's gonna turn it into a stocking for me because I don't sew and I have no desire to learn how. And then it will be done. And then I'm starting a new stocking because I have a grandbaby coming this year, and I would like to have one of these done for its first Christmas. Yeah. Okay, so that one definitely getting done this month. And then I have Fall on the Farm by Little House Needleworks. It's a 9-part series. You could stitch the parts separately and like only do one. I'm stitching them all together. I have 2 done, and that's it. The first one and the second one. I need to start the third. I'm wondering, do I even have, I need to get the third. So yeah. I don't remember what I'm stitching this on. It's, you know, you think you're gonna remember these things. It's 32 count. I don't even know. I don't know. I'd have to go back to an old video and look because I don't have any sort of note in here. It's like a bluey gray. I really like stitching on grays and bluey grays more than I like stitching on tans. If the color palette will work on a gray or a blue, that makes me happy. They're my go-to, my first choice. Okay, next up. This is Bohemian Bliss by Carolyn Manning. This is like seriously fun comfort stitching. It's full coverage, so the fabric color didn't really matter, and I'm probably gonna frame this right to the edge, but I went with like a minty green. It's 16 count something. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. It's 16 count something by Witchelt. And here's where we're at. So, I mean, I still have so much to stitch. And I have no, if this never gets done, that's fine. It's just, it's such comfort stitching. All you're doing is stitching triangles and squares and diamonds. Like squares, diamonds, and triangles. That's it. And it's mostly just diamonds and triangles. There's no squares. Well, I guess there's squares anyway. And you can, because it's full coverage, you can carry your thread a little on the back, and you can pull a length of thread and stitch all 6 strands with that color by kind of hopping around a little bit. And it's so fun. This is the Shooting Star collection. She's got a bunch of different colorways for this pattern, and it's delightful. It's so fun to stitch. And it's just in DMC. Okay, that bag is done. We are cruising, which is good because I'll probably get a little rambly when I talk about my plans. Or maybe not. Maybe for once I will be on point. Okay. This one is, I can't even take it out. So this is a warning to you all. Vinyl front bags, or this isn't even technically a bag, but vinyl front bags, you always run the risk. My pattern is stuck to the inside of this bag at this point. Luckily, like the chart isn't, but the picture, the cover photo is. This is the Lunar Witch by Autumn Lane Stitchery. My brain is working slow now. Yeah. So I'm torn on this one. I may or may not UFO it this year. We'll see. I think that I'm stitching this on 32 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. It looks like flannel flower. And here's where we're at. I really love the pattern of this. I don't tend to reach for it very often. It's probably not even gonna get worked on this year, depending on how my plans play out. So we'll see what happens. I'm not ready to abandon it yet, but it's on the cusp, on the edge there. All right, and then, uh-oh. Okay. This one is getting done this year. This is Touching the Autumn Sky. Hold on, where's my picture? I don't usually take the package out of its folder. All right, so this is Touching the Autumn Sky by Mirabilia. She is out of print. You can find her on Etsy sometimes. When I am finished with this one, she is going to be auctioned for charity at this year's 2024 Stitch New England retreat. So don't send me messages for her because I already have plans for her next phase of life, the chart. She's being stitched on 32 count Braying Donkey by Seraphim Fabrics. I'm not sure if you can get Braying Donkey. It was a color that we could order at the first Stitching at the Farm retreat. It's possible that she's put it into her regular line. I've never checked. I'm not sure, but it's this really pretty. It reminds me of like Eeyore. Anyway, here's where I'm at. So she gets touched pretty much every month. So I've made some really great progress on her. So fun to stitch. This was my unicorn chart. Like, I have wanted to stitch her forever and ever and ever. I unfortunately, like, where my crease marks are. I'm trying to get her up close for you. She's super fun. So she comes out once a month anyway, because I host a Zoom, a Fancy Folk Zoom, or if you're stitching a Fancy Folk, and I use that term loosely, it doesn't have to be a Mirabilia. We do that the fourth Thursday of every month. I'm toying with opening up, I host 2 Zooms a month, Fancy Folk and Hawk-Run Hollow. And I may be opening up those Zooms again to get some more people in. Look for that. I will make a decision on that by my next floss tube video. So Hawk-Run Hollow comes out every month too, which you'll see when I show you the crazy calendar of which is my plans for next year. For this year. I was living in 2024 in my brain since October, and now that we're actually in 2024, I keep thinking we're still in 2023. All right, so I think we are officially into 2023 starts now. We are. Touching the Autumn Sky is my first WIP carried over that I started last year. So everything else was started in 2023. This one I went to StitchCon last year, and on the way to StitchCon, there was a group of us New Englanders that traveled together. We stopped at Hobby House. So I picked out a project from Hobby House, and it was, I picked out Gathering Together because it felt appropriate from the Scarlet House. And I am stitching it on 36 count. I'm terrible. I don't know. I don't know what I'm stitching it on. It's 36 count. Tabby Cat linens, maybe? I don't remember the color. I am ill prepared for this WIP parade. But if we waited until I was prepared, it would never happen. So, okay. I made some serious progress on this. I might get this one done this year. It is charted to be stitched in Weeks Dye Works and Classic Colorworks. There is a DMC conversion. I had never used Soie d'Alger, is that what I bought? Holy moly, I don't even know. What am I looking at? think that's what I bought. I did a conversion. I did a silk conversion from Hobby House. Yes, well, I'll try. So, yeah. And it's fun. It's delightful to stitch with. I've really become like, which I never thought would happen. I love stitching with silk. So yeah, I think if I can get my other plans finished, I think this one could get done this year too. We'll see. Okay. And then I had another StitchCon start. This one I bought at StitchCon. It is Quaker Gardens by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I bought a bunch of M&M silks to stitch it on. And I've gone back and forth on which color I want to stitch it on. And I went with the lighter color and I've gotten a ton done. And now I'm wishing I had done the darker color. It's being stitched on Vanilla Bean by Atomic Ranch. I'm sorry, Vanilla Cream. 36 count. I'm probably just going to keep going with the lighter color. I should have done the darker color. It's fine. It'll be pretty once it's stitched up and it's in a frame and it's on the wall. Probably not getting touched on this year though. Okay. We are so close to being done. 23 WIPs goes a lot faster than you think it's going to. We have 45 minutes left to open the store. We are fine. Okay. I also started Haunted by Kathy Barrick. So she has two versions in this chart. I am stitching this one. I am stitching it on Oyster Shell 32 count by Fox and Rabbit. It's charted in MPI with a DMC conversion. I went with the MPIs. And here is where I'm at. So, I mean, I've been working on this. I started it probably in the fall. September. It was my fall start. September. So, I mean, that's not bad progress. It's really fun. Look at those bats. Oh, look at that little ghost. And the snake. The snake was very cool. Yeah, I love that. Okay, and then I just had this feeling like I did things out of order. Not that it matters, but then I realized I'm fine. We're fine. Then I went to Stitchin' at the Farm in Troy, New Hampshire, and I had two starts there. So start number one was Dwelling Place by Teresa Kogut. It's so fun. I am stitching mine on, let's see if I can remember, 32 count Freeze, and the Freeze is spelled F-R-I-E-Z-E by Atomic Ranch. And I got a bunch of border done. A bunch of border along the top. And a little bit of a motif done. But I mean, not a ton. But this was only like a day or two of stitching, and not even the whole day. But for a retreat start, that was a pretty good start. Okay, I'm making a big mess. I guess I need to actually make sure I have enough time to clean up this mess before I open the doors. Oh, I forgot about this one. Before that, before the farm, I had another start in the fall. This might have been my fall start. When the heck did I start this? I started this in October. Huh. This is Miss Mary Mac by Lottie Da. Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black with silver buttons all down her back. This is being stitched on Rose Gold by Black Cauldron Dye Works. 32 count. I am stitching it with Old Crow Belle Soie. And this one is also really fun. The button border is pretty mindless. Like once you get going, it just repeats and then it turns and then it repeats in a different manner. But it's actually nice group stitching because you don't have to really think about that border a lot. Okay, yeah, I did go a little out of order. So my second farm start was Charming Cow Sampler. I started this with Amy Jones, Gable Stitcher on FlossTube and Instagram. And I think there were a few others of us that started this at the farm as well. Charming Cow Sampler by Little Robin Designs. You can see that little cow. I love that cow. It's being stitched on 36 count color and cotton. And I got a bunch of straight lines. That's where it's at. It will get some love at some point. I really like this one. Straight lines were boring to me at the farm, so I didn't keep going. And Dwelling Place was so fun that I couldn't stop stitching on Dwelling Place. All right, last bag. Hold on, I gotta do a little reach. Okay. I had a winter start last year, and it was, don't go anywhere. Actually, I have no idea. This was my birthday start. It was North Pole. Oh, there go all my floss. North Pole by Kathy Barrick. I love that skinny Santa and all the pine trees. I love this. All my floss just went flying. And another one just landed on the floor. I'm out of control. Okay. I am stitching this on 32 count Storm by Atomic Ranch. And look at the progress I made. Like, I got so much done. That's as wide as it gets. Like a good third of the way done. Let me get him up close. Look at that Santa. I am stitching this with the MPI, but it also has a DMC conversion, and it would be really pretty if it were converted into some overdyes. Like his red coat would be pretty in an overdyed. I did change some colors. So the color that his jacket is supposed to be is not one of the colors that fell out. It's like a peachy coral color, and I couldn't do it. It's actually this color. So his jacket is supposed to be this color. No, I needed it to be red. So I left that color in here and then a few places in the border. This light color is the called for that. And then this is the color I changed his jacket to, which I added in places in the border so that it wasn't like the only thing that was that color. So I hope that all made sense. It's gonna look fantastic. This is really, really, really fun to stitch. Okay, and then, oh, I made such a mess. And then, like, what is in that bag? My new year, new start. All right, so this was my second to last start from 2023. It was my winter start. It is a sampler for all seasons by Scarlet House. I'm not doing the pillows, although I may, because at some point down the road, I love that alphabet. And I am doing it on 36 count. Mm-hmm. 36 count something. How can I be so bad at this? I own a shop. I always think I'm gonna remember what I've stitched on. Oh, because I didn't buy this. I bought this from Teresa Kitten Stitcher. It is 36 count almond something by Graham Cracker Fabrics. I don't even know why I'm showing this whole piece. It is going to take the entire fat quarter on the 36 count. I just have that like block worked on. I did do a little changing. So all of this like black color is supposed to be Blackbird by Classic Colorworks, and I changed it to Cast Iron Skillet by Gentle Art. I needed to be more black to me than like a 3371 color. So there's that. So that was what I thought was going to be my last start of the year. But then something I had started previously, my shop project. I always have something I work on at the shop during stitch groups. I realized I had oriented wrong on my fabric, and yeah, I had to cut it off and start over. I had quite a bit done. I had more done than what I'm actually going to show you right now that I had to abandon. So this was my last official start of last year because I had to do a restart. It is Quilting ABCs by Erica Michaels. I don't have part 5 over here to show you what it's all going to look like complete. It's a 5-part series. I'm stitching mine on 32 count Antique White by Zweigart. Here is where I'm at. So I had all of this done, plus quite a bit of the first quilting block done, and realized that I had gone the wrong way on the fabric. And this is, so for me to do it on 32 count, it's really tight. It's something like 19 inches by 20.5 inches. It doesn't fit on a fat quarter. It's not a square, so it doesn't fit on a fat quarter. And yeah, I did it the wrong, irregardless, I did it the wrong way. So I had to restart it. So there's where we're at. So this is what I'm gonna double over the fabric so you can see it better. This is what I'm working on today at the shop if we're not busy. But usually it gets worked on Wednesday nights, because Saturdays I don't always get a ton of stitching done. Okay, and then last WIP that I'm going to show you was my New Year, New Start from 2024. It was, where is the picture? Serenity Harbor by the Bay. So yeah, it's going to be this whole thing. This is part 1 right here. This is what I'm working on. I started this with my friend Amy. She's Zippy Zax on Instagram. And getting a piece of fabric for this is a little bit of a challenge because it's long, but not fat. So for us to do it on 32 count, I needed to cut a yard of fabric the long way. So like skinny halves versus fat halves. So we're both doing it on the same fabric. Like when I show, like it's gonna take up the majority of this length. I think maybe like 12 inches it doesn't need. It's gonna be really long. Because I decided in 2023 that I really love stitching on 32 count. I could have made this a lot smaller if I had done 40 count, but I'm not starting anything else on 40 count. It doesn't make my eyes happy, and stitching should be fun. So here is where I'm at. It is like beautiful. It's beautiful on this fabric. This is Dune by Atomic Ranch. I'm gonna fold it over so you can see the stitching better. It's just so pretty. So I get a little bit of the sun. I was hoping to get done with part 1 before I switch projects, but I don't think I'm going to. That's okay. So that is the WIPs I have so far in my pile. And now I've got like a mess going on. Okay, let's talk 2024 plans. So I am using the 2024 book days this year to help me do my planning. This is how I'm doing it. There's a whole lot of highlighting going on in the month. So my plan every month is the first half of the month, I'm going to focus on my 40 count projects. On my little WIP list, everything that has a little blue tick next to it is 40 count. So I have 3 projects that are on 40 count currently. A Year of Hawk Hollow, Nantucket Girls Sampler, and Peacock Unicorn and a Badger. I say currently, hopefully never anymore. So these are it. So the beginning of the month, I realize now that my highlighter ticks do not match my highlighter situation in the calendar, but that's okay. Sundays, these yellow boxes are always my temperature stitching. I might pick up something else, and who knows. Wednesdays, which I didn't realize were Wednesdays when I originally highlighted them in another color. I had to go back and highlight them in yellow. This might be best showed on February, where I didn't make that mistake. So yellow boxes are Wednesdays. The only stitching I get done on Wednesdays is at night at Stitch Group at the shop, which means it's always going to be my shop project. So the first half of the month, up until the second Thursday, is going to be 40 count. So all of these orange are any project that I have going on 40 count, because I want to make a ton of progress on my 40 count projects this year, so that I'm going to get a Year of Hawk Hollow done, but I just don't want to have 40 count projects that are barely worked on, that are kind of languishing in my pile because I never want to pick them up. I'm hoping, I don't foresee, I might get Nantucket Girls Sampler done this year. I won't get Unicorn, Peacock, and a Badger done, but I hopefully will get a ton of progress on it. So first half of the month, anything in orange is 40 count stitching. This is my Hawk Hollow Zoom. So I'll touch my Hawk Hollow up until the Saturday every month. Hawk Hollow gets worked on. Then you've got the pink highlighted areas. Those are my focus projects for the year. The things I need to get done projects. We're gonna call them get them done projects. I have a few of those. Hector's stocking, which we know is gonna get done this month. It just needs beads and buttons. Touching the Autumn Sky is getting done this year. Sir Thomas is getting done this year. I feel like there was another one. Oh, everything that has a green tick next to it is getting done this year. Hawk Hollow is getting done this year. So that's sort of a double dip. It's a 40 count and it's a get it done. So we'll see how that plays out every month. Sir Thomas, Hector stocking, touching the Autumn Sky. If I get those, and when Hector stocking gets done, I'm starting a new stocking, which will also be a get them done project. So I'll have 4 all year that I'm trying to get done. If I get those done, I may add something else. Like, I'd really like to get that Gathering Together by Scarlet House done because it's so close, or Autumn by Cricket Collection, or Tisket to Tasket. So yeah, I may add more green ticks if these disappear. So that is all the pink, all my pink boxes. So it's the stuff at the end of the month. The purple that's the 4th Thursday, that's Touching the Autumn Sky, or whatever fancy folk I'm working on, because when I get her done, another one will get started. And so she gets Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I feel like this is a good plan. It's going to get me progress. Now, I'm planning 7 starts this year, and I'm really going to try to stay true to that. Not counting if I get my shop project done and I start a new one. That's not part of the 7 projects I'm picturing. I've already had my New Year, New Start. I'm going to have a start for every season. So spring, summer, fall, and winter. I'm going to have a birthday start, and I'm going to have a start at the farm. I'm going to stitch in at the farm again this year. So a retreat start. 7 starts. That's it. But when I have a new start, it's obviously going to break up the whole highlighted situation. So you'll notice on January, I have that week that had the green. That was my new year, new start. When I have a new year, new start, no matter where it falls, like so for the first day of spring, which is in March, that'll be my next start. Let's say that's February. Good going, Pam. This would be my spring start, I think. I don't know, sometimes spring it could be the 19th, 20th, or the 21st. I don't know which one it is, but let's say it's the 20th. So I will stitch on this all the way until the Saturday. If this was the first day of spring, it just would have been these 2 days. So like wherever it starts up until the natural break, because on the Sunday, I will do my temperature stitching. I hope that makes sense. I'm carving out time for new starts, but not taking away from regimented things like my Zooms and my Sundays and Wednesdays and stuff. Anyway, okay. I hope that makes sense. I gotta open the doors in like 20 minutes, so we're gonna have to say goodbye. If you are in the New England area and you are experiencing some snow tonight and tomorrow, I hope you have a really good time and that you don't have to do too much shoveling, but also appreciate the snowy wonderfulness that is a snow day. And I know like if you're in Western New England or Northern New England, this is not your first snow day, but it is for us down in Southern New England. And I'm just really excited. We didn't shovel anything last year, nothing. We had some snowfall, but nothing that stuck, nothing that needed to be shoveled. We're gonna get like, I don't know, 3 to 6 inches. I'll take 3. I don't really need 6, but 3 inches would make me happy. Okay, I think that's it. I will see you all at the next video, which I'm hoping will be next Friday. And if not, it'll be probably the Friday after that. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful new year and that you are safe and healthy and happy and that you get all sorts of stitching in. Bye, everyone.